Today I'm making a creamy flan, and we're gonna start with the caramel. The caramel is that halo on the top of a good flan, adds that almost burnt caramel flavor. And we're gonna make caramel on the stove, and then this pot I have just a 1/4 cup of water, and to this we're gonna add 2/3 of a cup of sugar. I'm gonna add it right to the center of the pot. And that's just because when making caramel, it can be a little fussy, especially if the sugar gets stuck to the side of the pot before it melts. That'll cause the caramel to seize, but by pouring it right into the center, you avoid that. I'm gonna use a spatula and just make sure the sugar all gets wet before we put it on the stove top. All right, that looks good. Onto the stove it goes, medium heat. Now when making caramel, it is not time to walk away from the stove. You wanna stand here and watch it go, because when it goes like that. So for the first 5 minutes or so, I'm not gonna do anything with the pot. I'm not gonna swirl it, not gonna stir it, just gonna let that sugar slowly melt into the water, and it'll start to turn golden. That'll take about 5 minutes. Okay, you can see it starting to turn a little golden on one side of the pan. That usually happens because the burner's not quite even. Just want to swirl and swirl gently, let it continue to cook, let it continue to get nice and golden. Ah, there she goes. You can smell it. You can start to see some wisps of smoke. That means things are going to happen pretty quickly from here on out. Oh, I love that smell. Makes the whole house smell like caramel. All right, there's the color. Heat's off. Just continuing to swirl this, letting the caramel continue to cook with that residual heat. Looking for a dark reddish color. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of warm water. It's gonna bubble. I love that sound. You wanna swirl that water in. That's gonna take that caramel and turn it into a sauce that will stick to the flan. Now this caramel's ripping hot, so be careful. So here I have a loaf pan. This is slightly smaller than a 9x5. I think this is an 8.5 by 4.5, but a 9x5 would work. Into the pan it goes, one foul swoop. Now you don't want to scrape out any of the caramel stuck on the pan. That caramel stuck behind has a hard consistency. You'll wind up with hard candies. Whatever pours out is great. So I'm gonna set this aside, let it cool a little bit while we make the custard. Here we go. 2 eggs and 3 yolks. To that we're gonna add a 1.5 cups of whole milk. I find it easier to break the yolks up first and then whisk in the liquid. Just gives you a nice even custard. There we go. All right, to this we're gonna add a whole can of sweetened condensed milk. Now the sweetened condensed milk is the key to a great flan. It's already sweetened, it's a stable product, so the custard won't break as it cooks. And you have a nice creamy consistency on the finished flan. There we go. And now for flavor, I'm just gonna add a little bit of lemon zest, about 1/4 teaspoon, thereabouts. And I like it because it's kind of an unexpected flavor, at least for me. There's a lot of coffee flans, I've seen coconut flans, almond-based flans, but that little bit of acidity from the lemon zest is a real winner in my opinion. All right, I'm gonna whisk this all together. That sweetened condensed milk is pretty thick on the bottom there. So you want to make sure it's nicely incorporated with the rest of the ingredients. Very nice. Into the pan it goes, right on top of that caramel, which you can see is really nicely set up. All right, custard into the pan. And the cool thing about this flan is that we're gonna cook it in the slow cooker. And the slow cooker is a slow, even heat, so you get a perfectly cooked flan. So taking this back to the slow cooker, and we're gonna use this slow cooker like a water bath, as you would if you cooked this in the oven. So I'm gonna put some water into the bottom of the slow cooker. You want it to measure about 1/2 inch, which depending on your slow cooker is about 2 cups. And you really do need an oval slow cooker for this so that the loaf pan can fit nicely inside. So in goes the flan. There we go, lid goes on. Now this takes about 2 to 3 hours on low, depends on your slow cooker. There we go. You get a good look at that. My slow cooker actually says 4 hours when it only takes 2 to 3 to cook this on low. That's because that's a nice old slow cooker, and it doesn't do anything under 4 hours on low. So I'm gonna set a timer. I make this enough that I know that in that slow cooker it takes 3 hours, but you know it's done with the center of the custard registers about 180 degrees. That flan has been in the slow cooker for a while. Let's take its temperature. All right, looking for a temperature of 180 degrees, right in the center. Oh, there we have it. 179, 180, 181. Perfect. Gonna take the flan out of the water bath. Onto the wire rack it goes. You can see when I shake it, it's nicely set around the outside, but it's a little jiggly in the middle, and that is perfect. It will continue to cook and set up as it cools on the counter for 2 hours. And then, of course, you have to chill it in the fridge at least 8 hours to get it nice and cold, but you can do it up to 24 hours in advance. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you're hungry for more, check out Cook's Country magazine. It's everything you love about the Cook's Country TV show, packed between the pages of our award-winning magazine. Each issue features classic recipes, unbiased product reviews, and time-saving tips. Subscribe now and continue your culinary journey with Cook's Country magazine. All right, time to dig into this flan. It has been chilling in the refrigerator, so it's nice and cold. Now I'm just gonna take a paring knife, run it around the edges of the pan. That'll help it loosen from the pan nice and easily. Now, revealing a flan is always the fun part because that caramel sauce drips down the edges. And it's a little nerve-wracking for the cook. So you do a flip onto a nice large platter. Knock it. Oh, you see that caramel coming out. Ho ho. All of this caramel in this pan, oh yeah, some of it'll stick to the pan, some of it can just get poured right out. The more caramel, the better. All right, set this aside. Now for a slice. I have to say that is a perfect looking flan. And I think we did it in the slow cooker, so it's all hands off. The other cool thing about the slow cooker, it's nearly impossible to overcook it because it's just stuck on that low setting. All right, so flan slices are up to the cook. The depth, I'm gonna go about there. I know it's a little on the big side, so sue me. Oh. Oh, look at that texture. It is just perfectly creamy and smooth throughout the whole thing. So cool and silky. Little bit of sweetness, not too much. Oh, the only sugar was from that can of sweetened condensed milk, but it's that top, that caramel top and the lemon zest that just brightens everything up at the end. This is how you finish a meal. See you next time. Thanks for watching. What'd you think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you're excited to cook this week. You can get today's recipes and more for free at our website.